It's a dance, it's a fight that they deal with from 7 to 5 every early morn. Same themes, for survival they rely on routine. Gentle fates, driven hearts.
Okay, Ryan, entertain us.
You guys want to bust a beatboxing session?
Go ahead! Bring it, can you do it? Uh-oh! Bring that fucking music, white boy!
Okay, that's not what I had in mind.
I was busy doing my vitae. I didn't get to talk as much shit as I really wanted to, so right now I'm kind of, venting all the shit I could have talked at treatment too.
That's usually what this is, right? The car ride to lunch is like the process session. And, I don't think I was there yet.
Oh, you weren't there?
What happened?
Well, he was saying that the client she was presenting needed a higher level of care. He said, if I were you, I would look at my inadequate skills to be able to deal with this case. Like, something like that. Not even I would think about it. And I'm like, really? And he looked at me, he's like, really? When you're an intern, you feel very inadequate already because you're learning. It's not a really great style. I mean, I get mad and, for me it's, well, let me work harder, but not everyone's like that. I much prefer the encouraging style.
I do see burnout as being a weakness. I think society views therapists as they must have the answer to everything, they must not get stressed about anything. That's the feedback that I've gotten from folks that, you must have all these tools that you give to that you share with your clients. How do you manage your stress? And when they actually hear that we get stressed out, they're kind of shocked, they're kind of taken aback. And so...
Well, I came into this field with alcohol and drug community first as an alcohol and drug counselor, and I know in that environment, if you're burning out, that means that you're not being a good alcohol and drug counselor, you're not doing things right.
For us MFTs, we get this, not journal, but kind of magazine every month. And in the magazine, they have the section where they suspend people and revoke people's license. Have you guys ever read that?
Yes.
Yeah, right. And all I do is read that section. I mean, I'll read the magazine, but I'll just go to that section because it's like the gossip section. Because where people get their license revoked is because they're DUI, because they snap and assault somebody, or they have sex with their client. I mean, it is really wild. And I think that's because of burnout. And that's because they don't take care of themselves, so therefore they're gonna go drink and they're gonna, lose control and spit peas. And I mean, I think it's really important.
Another issue that is not really talked about is secondary trauma. And that plays a huge part in therapy, basically. We're hearing a lot of horrific stories, and we take it home, and if we're not managing our own burnout and stress, then it really can play an effect.
Like therapists have therapists. Like therapists have therapists. Like therapists have therapists.
The research which shows that those high on emotional intelligence can have a better buffer for stress. It's used almost as a coping strategy. And I felt with the clientele and the population we work with, that those individuals who are high in emotional intelligence, those who can recognize their emotions, recognize them in others, and mediate that, would be using that so often that alone would be stressful. So kind of counterintuitive to the current research. So what I found where that's not the case with this population, that those high on emotional intelligence weren't showing any more stress than other people. And in regards to burnout, first to look at the bigger picture, nobody was really, as rated by the Maslach Health Human Service Survey, the HSS, nobody was burnt out. for the categories. You have to have a certain score on emotional exhaustion, you have to have a certain score on depersonalization, and you have to score low on personal accomplishment. So nobody fell in the category of being burnt out as by that criterion. However, a lot of people scored high on emotional exhaustion, and some people scored low on personal accomplishment. But what was wonderful that I found out, which is so interesting, is that though they scored high on emotional exhaustion, I think not one person scored low on depersonalization, with which you would treat your clients as the word signifies, as not a person. So I think that's wonderful, because as counselors, that's the last thing you would want, is in a relationship someone to not be treating their client as the human being that they are. So I think that that's wonderful.
We've joked around kind of about notice some of your, I want to say changing, but you know how the stress has kind of gotten to you a little bit.
Yes.
You know, can we talk about the little feisty mama that's been coming out?
I think since being here, I feel really comfortable with everyone now, and I'm being a little bit more real, because I'm kind of over putting on some of the airs and the sparkliness, although I feel like I am a sparkly person. So I think in the past couple of weeks I have been a little bit more feisty to my coworkers, but also keeping that in check, because you know, I have been a little overwhelmed with my wedding stuff that's going on with my life, and I try as hard as I can to kind of keep that away from work, but it's still something that's inside of me. Because it's coming out a little spicy. I'm not sure. Am I hurting your feelings with my spiciness?
Oh God, yeah. Because I had such a hard time with assertiveness. When you first got here, I was like, you know, I love you, but I'm like, I'm gonna slap this girl, and she does not come, you know, real. But I'm really glad, because it is very true. I mean, we have to be able to trust each other. I think we have a really good team. Mm-hmm. You know, I'm really excited, and